Tonight at 5, we're learning new details about a shooting outside an apartment complex that left one teenager dead, why residents say the building's management failed them.
Plus, what happens next after Wisconsin lawmakers pass a series of bills focused on transgender youth. And the story of a local teen who is finally back home after getting a double lung transplant. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. A wet and rainy Thursday, but it is nothing really compared to what we're going to see tomorrow. The heaviest rain is still to come, and that's calling for an alert day. Meteorologist Jacob Monasato is on the weather patio. You can hear the rain coming down. Hi, Jacob.
Just in time for a gust of wind is what you tossed to me. Right now, we are seeing some light rain here in Madison, but there is some moderate to heavy rain across our area right now. But as you mentioned, the heaviest rain is still to come. We are going to see around 1 to 2 inches of rain Friday alone, but the entire system, which is happening right now, will last all the way until Saturday, and so the entire system we could see up to 3 inches for some locations. Now, looking at the current radar, we are seeing a lot of rain across our area right now with a band of heavy rain just to the southwest of Dane County, moving into the county, probably going to impact Madison within the next 30 minutes to an hour. But we could see some more bands of heavy rain throughout the night, but for the most part, the rain will be relatively light or moderate during the overnight hours, but it is expected to continue. Heaviest rain in general during the overnight hours will be to the north of Madison, but as we get to Friday, we are going to see that heavier rain move into our area, and it's going to impact pretty much our entire region for most of the day. Now, looking at the temperature forecast, lows tonight are going to be fairly mild compared to the last couple of nights. We'll see lows around 50, but plenty of rain still to come. I'll take you through the timing of all of it coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We're learning new details about a shooting that left 15-year-old Kaisha Miller dead at the Harmony Apartments on Madison's east side. Almost 50 rounds were fired during that shooting Tuesday. Police said officers were conducting 12 patrols near the scene earlier that day, and there have been almost 1,300 calls for service at that complex over the last 3 years. The building was declared a chronic nuisance back in 2020. Investigators say legal action is possible if changes are not made. Our Braden Ross spent the day talking with residents at the complex about how they say the building management has failed them.
She joins us live with where they say the problem lies. Braden, what did they tell you today?
Yeah, I reconnected with Alicia Grant today. I first met her back in July when her son, 20-year-old Devon, was shot and killed in almost the same exact place as this other shooting that just happened on Tuesday here. Now, she tells me residents here are fed up with this building owners, who she says have been standing in the way of the programs that they say would change life for the better here.
And we are tired. We don't need to lose another child. These kids need something to do here. It's nothing to do here for these kids, nothing. And if ain't nothing to do, they easy to get into trouble.
Now, Alicia says it's been left up to her and other residents to keep the community safe, but when she and the property manager have tried to set up youth engagement programs on multiple occasions, she says they've been shot down by the building's owner. Now, coming up at 6, I'll talk to the community police officer here who is tasked with taking care of this building and a few others here on the east side about what she says the problem is and how she's trying to fix it. That'll be coming up at 6 tonight, but for now, here in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
We will see you at 6, Braden. Thank you. New today, one of the 3 men charged in the 2020 deadly shooting of 11-year-old Anissa Scott was sentenced to 15 years in prison. 20-year-old Jerry Ward Jr. was 17 when he, Perion Carrion, and Andre Brown were arrested in connection with the shooting. Prosecutors allege the men were targeting Christopher Carthens, who was driving a vehicle with Scott in it, but she was shot instead and later died. Ward will also serve 5 years extended supervision.
Today, Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos said impeachment is still on the table for Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasiewicz. This after a second conservative former justice came out against impeachment yesterday. Speaker Vos said he thinks Justice Protasiewicz made a mistake in not recusing herself from a redistricting case. He floated the possibility of impeachment back in August after Justice Protasiewicz called the Republican-drawn legislative boundary maps rigged and unfair during her campaign.
We know ultimately that if they decide to inject their own political bias inside the process and not follow the law, we have the ability to go at the Supreme Court, and we also have the ability to hold her accountable to the voters of Wisconsin.
Justice Protasiewicz refused to recuse from the redistricting lawsuit last week and sided with the liberal majority in accepting the lawsuit. Speaker Vos suggested impeachment may hinge on how Justice Protasiewicz rules on that case.
Legislators in the Capitol today approved a slate of bills geared toward trans Wisconsinites.
But will those measures end up becoming law? Political reporter Will Keneally live at the Capitol with some answers for us. Will?
Well, Eric and Susan, the bills appear to be dead on arrival when they hit Governor Tony Evers' desk, but it continues to be a key issue area for Republicans to push for here in the state capitol. The Democrats said today, though, that even just the debate itself can cause some concern.
I hope that you understand the harm that these bills would cause.
The Assembly approved a slate of 3 trans-related bills along party lines today. 2 would ban trans Wisconsinites from participating in women's sports at the K-12 and collegiate levels. Another would ban gender-affirming care for minors. The bills will face an almost certain veto from Governor Tony Evers.
I, of course, find solace in the fact that these bills will not become law because Governor Evers has vowed to veto them.
People say, why are you bringing bills forward when Governor Evers has already said he's going to veto them? Well, number one, the answer is pretty simple. We think they're the right thing to do for Wisconsin. We think they're the right thing to do for Wisconsin families.
Republicans continue to push today that this is a necessary debate to have, especially the bill banning gender-affirming care for minors. They argue it's crucial to protect young Wisconsinites over time.
If you go back in history, the way to treat mental illness 50 to 100 years ago was a lobotomy, and at the time, that was settled science.
But Democrats argue that the continued push for these bills can do harm in and of itself.
It's important for us all to remember that even if these bills fail to become law, just the introduction of them, just the discussion and the introduction of them is inherently harmful and life-threatening to LGBTQ plus individuals. 86% of transgender and non-binary youth have reported the negative impacts on their mental health just from these bills being introduced alone. We are talking about a human cost.
Now, at the same time as that assembly session here, actually just down the hall in a Senate committee, they're hearing a slate of bills that is very similar. So we could see these hit the governor's desk within a matter of months here. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. Health experts say the youth mental health crisis is extending to college students and other young adults. The Wisconsin Office of Children's Mental Health says academics and school demands have become the top 2 stressors for college students. It's about that time of the school year when students start to feel overwhelmed. Experts say taking time with friends, participating in extracurricular activities, and finding good coping skills can help relieve some of that stress.
Well, after surviving 2 lung transplants in 2 years, a high school senior who grew up here in Madison has returned home from the hospital.
Our Catherine Merck spoke with the teen and his mom today and joins us now to share their remarkable story. Catherine?
Josh Burton had a rare, life-threatening condition that had him hospitalized back in June 2020. That led to a lung transplant, but that would only be the first half of his health battle. In fall 2020, Josh was told his second set of lungs were running out of time after he contracted RSV, and his new lungs began to fail. His mom, Kelly, told me he was turned away from 20 transplant centers until he was accepted for a second transplant at Northwestern Lung Transplant Center. Doctors told them going through 2 of these intense surgeries would be difficult, but Josh made it through.
It was tough.
They told me it was going to be complicated. I knew that going in, and you know, you just move forward. You just towards the final. That's all you can do.
Doctors at Northwestern said that Josh almost died several times and had to go through multiple calls for different lung transplants based on his current condition. Today, the Waunakee High School student is back at school. He's expected to graduate in May, and we'll hear more from him tonight at 6 o'clock.
Boy, that is incredible. We will see you at 6, Catherine. Thank you. Traveling in Israel today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken vowed U.S. support for Israel's defense against Hamas. At least 27 Americans have now been killed, and the mission to locate more than 100 people held captive by Hamas continues. Laura Aguirre has the latest and a warning that some of the video and details in this story are disturbing.
There is no excuse. There is no justification for these atrocities. This must be a moment for moral clarity.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Tel Aviv Thursday, meeting with Israeli leaders and survivors of Hamas's bloody attacks on thousands of civilians this week.
First priority are our friends and family that are now in Gaza.
More than 100 hostages, Americans among them, are being held by Hamas. Their exact whereabouts in Gaza unknown. And with another wave of Israeli airstrikes raining down on Gaza Thursday, fear for their safety worsens.
They use hostages as human shields, and they're very willing to give the hostages up to be sacrificed.
We're doing everything we can to secure the release of the hostages, working closely with our Israeli partners.
Hamas is ISIS, and just as ISIS was crushed, so too will Hamas be crushed.
The Prime Minister's office released more evidence of barbaric acts by Hamas militants, including photographs of burned infants. Images that have other Israeli officials pushing back against concerns that Israel's retaliatory strikes are killing civilians in Hamas-run Gaza.
It was an unprovoked attack, a major massacre against civilians. We have no other choice.
We stand with Israel in its determination to do everything possible to ensure that what happened on Saturday never happens again.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Republican Representative Tyler August from Lake Geneva here in Wisconsin reiterated the state's position behind Israel amid the violence in Israel, Gaza, and the West Bank. This morning, he said he wants to make it clear the Wisconsin State Assembly stands with our friends in Israel. August also said lawmakers have introduced a bipartisan resolution that condemns the atrocities that are being committed by Hamas. And Democratic Representative Lisa Subak of Madison also condemned the attack. She said, as a Jewish Wisconsinite, the resolution was important because the attacks on Israel are attacks on Jewish people everywhere. Next at 5, Jacob tells us what we can expect during tomorrow's Alert Day.
Plus, a new exhibit celebrates 100 years of Disney. We'll take a behind-the-scenes look after the break.
And on Wall Street, a small win streak ends with red numbers today. The Dow falling more than 173 points. The Nasdaq tumbles 85.5. S&P 500 loses 27. We'll be right back.
Don't miss Wisconsin's best deals this fall, only at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Inventory Liquidation Event. Get 25% off on all in-stock Samsung appliances and 15% off all in-stock Scratch and Dent appliances at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
For over 6 decades, Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true for everyone. Starting Saturday at 7 a.m., the tradition continues during Blaine's Toyland opening weekend. Like half-off select Lego playsets, $4.99 each. These Barbie playsets, your choice, $19.99. And Rewards members get 4 Hot Wheels die-cast vehicles for just $3. Plus, Rewards members get a free $5 gift card with every $50 Toyland purchase. Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, where wishes come true for everyone. Starting Saturday at 7 a.m.
Now's the time for a new Leisure Concepts hot tub, so check out this amazing special purchase. This 6x7-foot hot tub seats 4 adults beautifully, has a powerful 3-horse jet pump, LED lights, 24 stainless steel jets, and a thick winterproof cover. The best part, right now it's just $59.95, and that includes delivery and training. Just $59.95 for all this. Get to Leisure Concepts ASAP and get yours delivered now.
Think all Medicare plans are the same? Think again. With Dean Health Plan, you can get the coverage you need with premiums as low as $0 a month. That includes medical, hospital, and prescription coverage with $0 copays for primary care doctor visits, plus extra benefits like comprehensive dental and savings on over-the-counter pharmacy items. Call 1-855-822-6173 now to request your free Dean Health Plan guide. Dean Health Plan, right here with you.
You've probably heard by now, but Wanakee Remodeling has been transforming homes for the better part of half a century by installing materials that stand the test of time from a team of trusted home pros. Our design team delivers a turnkey experience for your interior or exterior remodeling project, leaving you with a home you love. At Wanakee Remodeling, we'll never stop improving. Right now, get a special window offer. Buy one window, get one 40% off plus special financing. Visit WanakeeRemodeling.com for more.
Don't miss Wisconsin's best deals this fall. Only at Ashley's Inventory Liquidation Event. Everything must go. Save as much as 60% store-wide. Plus, low monthly payment options. Only at Ashley.
We have an alert day for Friday for heavy rain, but the system will last until Saturday. I'll have more details at 6.
Plus, after a 15-year-old was killed in a shooting on Madison's east side, the community officer shares her perspective tonight at 6.
Tonight at 10, you're having a baby and the clock's already ticking. I'm finding out what parents are going through to secure and pay for spots in local daycare.
It just feels impossible, honestly.
News 3 Now is looking into solving the childcare crisis. Tonight at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
House Republicans are back at it, trying to figure out a candidate for Speaker of the House, with Majority Leader Steve Scalise short at least 10 of the votes he needs. Scalise was meeting with members, trying to firm up the support he'll need to get elected on the House floor. He defeated Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan during a secret ballot vote yesterday. Jordan today himself urging members to unite behind Scalise.
January was a coronation, and it was difficult. This is a competition, and it's going to be even more difficult.
Our adversaries are watching this, and Israel is watching. They need our help.
The White House says the sooner there's a new speaker in place, the sooner they can move on an aid package for Israel. Some GOP lawmakers say they expect to work through the weekend to try to unite behind a single speaker candidate.
Attorneys for Donald Trump's 2 co-defendants in his classified documents case were in court today. A federal judge weighed in whether their lawyers have conflicts of interest and should be ordered off the case. Christian Benavides has the details.
Well, Thursday's hearing was all about whether Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, the co-defendants in the classified documents case, would seek new counsel based on the fact that their attorneys previously represented people who are now potential government witnesses and could be called to testify against them. First, the court told de Oliveira that his attorney would essentially be hampered by divided loyalties, that if those potential government witnesses testified, his attorney, John Irving, may not be as forceful in representing him based on the fact that they are his prior clients. Still, de Oliveira chose to keep his attorney, but in a last-minute move, Walt Nauta's hearing was postponed. The court admonished the government for raising a new argument that Nauta's attorney not cross-examine a key witness who is one of his prior clients. Judge Eileen Cannon says that will need to be debated another day. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Fort Pierce, Florida.
The Family Dollar is recalling a large number of over-the-counter drugs and medical products. The company says the products were stored outside of labeled temperature requirements. They were then shipped to 23 states and sold between June 1st and October 4th. The recall includes over-the-counter cold medicines, vitamins, toothpaste, and children's medicines. Customers can return the products to a store without a receipt.
Companies who make feminine hygiene products are banding together to reimburse shoppers for sales tax that they've paid on their products. 21 states still use the pink tax, including Wisconsin. If you bought products from August, Cora, Lola, the Honey Pot, Rael, Here We Flow, Salt, or Diva, you can submit your receipt on tampontaxback.com to get the money back through Venmo or PayPal. Women's health advocates have argued for years that tampons, pads, and other products should be sold free of taxes. It was a dreary, rainy day today, and a lot more where that came from tomorrow. Here's Jacob with the details.
Yeah, tomorrow is simply just going to be a worse version of today, windier and rainier. We could see 1 to 2 inches of rain on Friday alone, but the entire system, which is obviously already begun, it will last until Saturday, bringing up to 3 inches of rainfall for some locations. Now, for the 3 things you need to know, all having to do with the system, we could see some scattered showers tonight. For the most part, it will be light to moderate, but right now we actually are seeing some bands of heavier rain with more consistent heavy rain entering our area tomorrow and tomorrow night. And we also are going to see some gusty winds. Those wind gusts could be up to 40 miles per hour at times. So looking at the current radar, we have that heavier band of rain just to the southwest of Madison, slowly moving its way. Actually, I shouldn't say slowly, a pretty normal speed for rain right now. It's moving into Madison, probably going to impact all of Dane County within the next 30 minutes to an hour. Now looking at future track, Like I mentioned, we are going to continue to see some scattered showers, possibly a few storms. But during the overnight hours, the heaviest rain looks to be to the north of Madison. And then by the time we get to Friday morning, the heavier rain will move into our area from the west and continue to scatter across our entire region. Some places may see moderate to heavy rain for several hours. By the time we get to the evening, we are going to see the rain break up just a little bit, but more rain is going to enter our area from the south and once again spread out across a lot of our area. Now, for tomorrow night, it looks like areas near Iowa may not see quite as much rain, but areas in the central and eastern portions of our region will likely continue to see that heavy rain for tomorrow night. Now, by the time we get to Saturday, we'll mostly see just light rain, and it may continue throughout the day, but it will break up throughout the afternoon and finally clear out of our area by Saturday night and Sunday. So total precipitation moving forward, again, up to 2 inches, possibly exceeding 2 inches for some locations, but our entire region expected to see at least 1 inch of rainfall. Now, looking at the wind gust forecast, we'll see those wind gusts improve to 40 miles per hour during the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. And then that wind gust will continue throughout the day, maybe a little bit better by the evening compared to the morning tomorrow. But we'll continue to see the wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour for much of the day on Saturday before it starts to diminish by the time we get to Saturday night and Sunday. And then by Sunday evening, not going to be a huge factor. Now, as far as temperatures, the temperatures don't really change all that much when we have a lot of rainfall. So lows tonight will only be in the 50s. But highs tomorrow will only be in the middle to lower 50s. So not going to see a lot of change in the temperatures for the next 24 to 48 hours. But they are going to drop a little bit for the beginning of next week with highs in the lower 50s and overnight lows in the lower 40s. Temperatures will slowly warm up throughout next week with a chance of rain on Thursday. Highs will be right around 60 by the time we get to next weekend. So next weekend, temperatures will be a lot more comfortable. Now, for your firstborn traffic, there are a few slowdowns, a pretty big slowdown on the westbound Beltline from Middleton all the way to the 151. Also, a few other slowdowns on the, excuse me, that's eastbound. I apologize. Eastbound Beltline, Middleton all the way to the 151. Also, a few other slowdowns on the eastbound Beltline. But because of that, specific one just south of Middleton, eastbound, pretty slow at this hour, but westbound on the Beltline and southbound Sun Prairie to downtown, both in the green. And that's your firstborn traffic. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, Jacob, thank you. From Mickey Mouse sketches to Cinderella's glass slipper, a new exhibit opening in London tomorrow celebrates 100 years of the magical world of Disney. The Walt Disney Archives has selected an array of art, props, and costumes featured in both classic animations and also more recent live-action productions. More than 250 items are on display at Disney 100, the exhibition. And next month, another version of Disney 100 opens. It'll be at the Exhibition Hub Arts Center in Chicago on November 18th. Tickets are on sale now. I think the first couple days are already sold out, but you can look for tickets at Disney100exhibit.com. Still to come, where inflation is still a problem and where it's easing a bit. That story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
I'm Darrell Hall of Hall Farms, and this is my John Deere. We farm 1,700 acres of crop ground, and then we also have purebred breeding sheep. We've dealt with Sloan since 1980, and what I think is really makes them stand out is the person-to-person contact, and it seems like they're always on top of their business to the finest detail. And that just amazes me, and I think that's why Sloan's is so impressive to us farmers, and this is why I think of Sloan's first.
From Lincoln Center Theater that brought you The King and I and South Pacific comes a sumptuous new revival of the most perfect musical of all time, My Fair Lady. The New York Times calls it thrilling, glorious, and better than it ever was. Bartlett Shear's glowing production is enthralling. Don't miss the smashing, jubilant Lincoln Center Theater production of My Fair Lady.
At Overture Center, November 21st through 26th. Get your tickets today at overture.org.
No matter what kind of store you visit,
no matter what kind of tobacco you ask for. It's illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under 21. So remember to bring your ID. It will get checked. Because in Wisconsin, 21 means 21, no matter what.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Update your home's exterior with Cedar Creek vinyl siding. This low-maintenance siding withstands the elements and is available in 16 color options. Ready to install. Just $4.99 a piece after rebate. Get the last roof you'll ever need with Menards Steel Roofing. It's durable, offers superior wind and hail resistance, and is available in cut-to-your-length panels. Get 11% off all steel roofing.
Save big money at Menards.
The best night's sleep starts on a new Beauty Rest from Steinhoffels. During our anniversary sale, Beauty Rest Queen mattresses start at only $3.99. Upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beauty Rest Black for just $44 per month when you use Steinhoffels' special 72-month financing. And save up to $800 on Beauty Rest Black adjustable base sets. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A new report shows inflation remains high, but prices for some items are improving.
Bradley Blackburn takes us inside the numbers.
Price hikes at the grocery store are getting closer to historically normal levels, up just 2.4% last month. But rent prices remain a problem, with rates going up more than 7%. Overall, inflation rose 3.7% in September, a big drop from last year's peak, but still above the 2% target regulators want to see.
I think when we look at how consumers are managing their personal finances here, it's still a juggling act for many Americans.
That includes senior Stephanie Raha.
And certainly we go to restaurants, coffee shops. The prices are just stunning compared to a couple of years ago.
Raha and others on Social Security will soon get more money. The cost of living adjustment is going up 3.2% starting in January. That's way down from the last benefit increase because inflation has dropped significantly in the past year. But the average recipient will still get a boost of about $50 a month. Would that be helpful to you?
It would. I mean, I do have some savings, but Social Security matters a lot.
Inflation has stayed above 3% since June. Now the Federal Reserve has to decide if more action is needed. The Fed has been raising interest rates to slow rising prices and previously signaled there could be another increase before the end of the year. And a cut won't come anytime soon.
Whether there's one more rate hike or not between now and the end of the year, the expectation is fully that rates will remain higher for longer.
The Fed will make its next decision on rates in November. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And we'll be back. Final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Their harmony and great country music that brings people together. It's Rocket Club. Performing live Friday, November 17th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
For over 6 decades, Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true for everyone. Starting Saturday at 7 a.m., the tradition continues during Blaine's Toyland opening weekend. Like top toys from Barbie, Hot Wheels, Melissa and Doug, and more. Plus, shop our Super Weekend doorbusters throughout the store, like $100 instant savings on any Cub Cadet snow thrower, and get these men's, kids, and toddlers outerwear styles for half price. Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, where wishes come true for everyone, starting Saturday at 7 a.m.
We saw a need and an opportunity within our community to help people purchase their first home. With Thriving's financial guidance, it helped me to start a company to help people build generational wealth through home ownership. I never would have been able to achieve the financial goals that I wanted and been able to help people the way that I have without my financial advisor from Thriving.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Be a night of laughter and fun. It's the Bob and Tom Show Comedy Tour with comedians Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Jeff Oskey. Performing live Saturday, November 4th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Tonight on News 3 Now at 6, how one Western Wisconsin organization is making sure kids of all abilities can enjoy the playground. That's next hour. News 3 Now at 6. Jacob?
Here's a look at the current radar. Seeing some heavier bands of rain right now across Dane County. It looks like it's going to enter Madison fairly soon. There's also a heavier band of rain just to the southeast of Madison and further to the west in Dodge County.
All right, we're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.
Iowa County, sorry.